Okay, so understanding how to bring geometry from other programs into Rhino that's useful. We're going to have a look at this Dumbo again. This Dumbo came out of a TV game. It's a model from a very old PlayStation 2 TV game, and as you can see it's very faceted, and because it was generated for a game it doesn't have to have thickness, it doesn't have to have continuity. You can see over here that you have a single line mesh. It's infinite, can never ever be produced. Most of these meshes are open, they have disjoint edges, they have all kinds of crazy things going on with them, and of course they're very low poly, so we've got a lot of faceting going on over here. Let's start working on how to fix these little problems. So I'm going to just go into my layer menu and I'm going to just look at my part, have a look at what we have. We've got a hat, we've got ears. You'll find that when you click on stuff on imported meshes, whoever the modeler was may have grouped them together. To ungroup a mesh, just explode it. Explode command, and now you should find that you have, there we go, you see the two meshes over there. You should have the hat as a bunch of separate meshes, and the ears as a bunch of separate meshes. Now we don't want to do a whole lot of work for nothing, so let's delete you. Explode you. Let's delete you, because we have one here this side, we have a leg, so we don't need a bunch of legs, we just need all the stuff on one end. Let's explode those to get to its components, and let's dump everything on this side. Dump. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is look for single thickness surfaces like the ears and like the little collar around the side here. We don't want that, alright, because that cannot be produced. So you'll see you have two meshes. It gives it a little bit of thickness at the ear here, and it comes up there, but it comes down to a single point over here, which is not really any good for us because it's difficult to work with. So let's dump that single mesh. Let's have a look around. Same thing with the collar, I guess. Pick the side you want to keep, dump the other side, and now we have all the components we want to work with. If you've exploded too far, just grab your separate components. Now you can join that mesh again. Sorry about the noise in the background, guys. I work here too. Alright, so we have a leg, we have a face, which has a separate component in there, which looks like it's joined up, so let's join them. We have the ear, we have the collar, we have several parts of a hat. What's that in there? No idea. Alright, so let's grab the parts for the hat. Let's join them. Alright, and now let's start making layers. New layer. Head. New layer. Body. New layer. Front leg. New layer. Back leg. The collar and the hat. New layer collar. New layer hat. Okay, and let's start moving stuff over. So I want to take the head, I want to move it onto that layer. And turn the layer off. We're going to start working on bits and pieces as we go along. I don't have the ear. New layer. Ear. Change object layer. And turn that layer off. Let's grab the hat, put it on its layer, and turn it off. I'm going to start working on the body, I think. So let's take the collar, put it on the collar layer, turn it off. Back leg, onto the back leg layer. And turn it off. Front leg onto its layer. And turn it off. Alright, so we're left with the body. So we know that we're going to want a solid. We're not going to want a hollow shell like this. So we're going to start filling the holes. Happily Rhino has mesh fill holes. Let's just start looking for it. Mesh fill hole, full mesh hole. And you need to select a boundary area where the holes are, which is that little boundary there. Right click, start the command again. that boundary there, this boundary, whoops, right click start the command, you can do that boundary, right click start the command, you can do this boundary. Alright, so now that body is, oops, we missed one over there, and do this boundary. Okay, super good. Now we want to get rid of this sort of disjointedness of it. So we're going to, you can either remesh or you can subdivide. I'm going to go with the subdivide, just because I like it. Subdivide. Delete the input. Yes, let's have a look at that. It's still a bit faceted. Let's do it again. Okay, that's looking nice and smooth. I'm happy with that. Alright, so I can turn the body layer, I can leave the body layer on, and I'd like to lock it. Lock the body layer. Whoop. Oh, that's interesting. 906 not locking the layer. Alright, anyway, you can just manually lock it. Okay, so we're good to go with the next item we want. I guess I want to work with the head. It might be the easiest one to patch for now. Now, what is this up here? No idea, but his head covers it anyway, so let's explode and delete those. Okay, let's rejoin and let's start filling those holes up. So again, mesh full holes, that edge, this edge here, any other holes anywhere? Doesn't look like. Okay, and you. Alright, and again subdivide. Save yourself some time, just find it from there. Okay, so we'll look at that rendered. That's looking okay. I'm going to undo one level of subdivision. Okay, now we're going to have a collar in between there, but we have a gap between the head and the body that probably want to get rid of. So I'm going to unlock the body. Grab it, do a cage edit. Cage editing mesh will not add more geometry, it moves the actual points. So we want to grab those points there, we want to move that bit of the body up in there, that bit of the body up in there. Let's have a look at what we're doing. Yeah, I think that's pretty much okay. And we'll wrap the collar around that. So at this point we can mesh boolean here and hopefully we're going to be okay. I'm not going to do it for now because the next part of this tutorial will take us how to pose this item, and I want the head to be able to turn independently of the body when I add musculature. Alright, so we can lock these two items. We're happy with them. Let's put this on shaded, see what we're doing. Alright, let's show the leg. Actually, I'm going to start working on something with a bit more of an issue to it, the ear. So we have the ear as a single mesh. In other words, it has no thickness, it's a hypothetical thickness. Alright? So to fix that, you're going to go mesh offset, or offset mesh. Keep getting that one the wrong way around. Offset mesh. And you want to give it a bit of thickness so that you can work. Let's have a look. I think probably that's okay, remembering that when we subdivide, this is all going to smooth. Okay. You want to make sure solid is ticked. Depending on which way you want it to thicken, you may or may not want both sides. Let's go offset. Alright, so now I can subdivide this. I think 2 levels is enough. And subdivision has smoothed off the ear section over there a lot, so let's just take that and pull it back into the head a bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now we can mirror that. Didn't have to do all that work twice. Alright, so we can lock those. Okay. The other problem that the other part that had a bit of a problem was the collar. So let's have a look at the collar. Again, it's a single mesh with no actual thickness to it, so the same thing, offset mesh. Let's have a look, is that thick enough? I'd say I want that collar to probably be a little thicker than that. I think that's enough. Offset, and let's subdivide it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's have a look. I'm going to lock the two. So far we're looking good. Alright, let's bring the legs out. Let's bring that hat out. Okay, let's examine what we have in the hat. I might unlock everything and turn off those other layers because I only want to work with that'll be why that was giving me a problem. Okay, let's have a look at this hat. I have a single mesh, I have disjointed meshes, I have all kinds of problems going on over here, so I'm going to explode that. Now let's see what it's made up from. It's made up from a cone which is open. There's a single surface down here that doesn't mean anything to anyone. We have this on the inside there. Dump that. Okay, I think I'm happy with having just that outside, so I'm going to fill holes on this one. Where are we? Mesh fill a hole, and I'm going to grab that edge there. Fill that up nicely. Okay, let's hide you. Let's have a look at what we've got going on over here. Alright. So I'm going to fill holes again on that edge and on that edge. Alright, and we can show the balance of it. And I wonder if we should subdivide before we boolean. No, I'm going to boolean first. So, dash boolean union. Okay, let's have a look if it broke anything. Doesn't seem to be broken anything. We'll find out when we subdivide. A bit funky over there. Twice. Okay, I'm pretty much happy with that. Alright, so let's start showing everything. Lock that whole lot and start working on those legs. Where are my legs gone? Let's turn you off. Okay, we have weird funky thing happening over here. Let's see if we can get away with a fill hole, which I believe we probably should be able to. I'd like to move this section out first a bit, so I'm going to F10 to turn on those edit points. Grab that mesh point, and in this view I'm just going to bring it out a bit like, wow, Control Z, those edges are not even joined. Very, very sloppy modeling when you bring in game models. Alright, so let's do this. Mesh fill holes. Okay, same thing here. Okay, we may lose some definition when we subdivide. No, not too bad. Okay, let's show the body. Let's see what those legs look like in the body. Now, subdivision has caused some weird gapping over here. The front looks pretty much okay. Yeah, I think the front's pretty much okay. This back leg needs to come in just a tad over here. We can do that again with a cage edit. And we just want to move those points over. So, I think we're okay. Alright, so let's dump this. both of these. Change object layer, and both of those to the back leg. Change object layer. And now we have all the components we need to start taking this into the next program to you've gone from a mucky little elephant to something that we're ready to start posing when we go over into the next program. Okay, I'd like to clean up this mesh and retopolize it in 3D Coat. I'm going to skip that step, showing you that step, because we've already done all of that in previous tutorials, but I'm going to retopo all this mesh so that I have a nice clean mesh, and then move on to the next section. Cheers guys.